back to In the Zone here at the Rooftop Bar and Grill in Arlington, Virginia. I'm your man, James Flamez, and now I'm joined by Miss Karen Breit. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm a little bit depressed about the Redskins, but I'm okay. I'm hanging in here. I'm doing fine.
I'm glad. It was a rough weekend for us.
Yeah. Well, the last time we talked, the Redskins were off to a good start.
An amazing start.
An amazing start. And I don't know if I jinxed it. I don't think you jinxed it.
I definitely didn't jinx it.
Because you went against the jinx. You purposely said, I'm not going to jinx it. I don't know if I did, if I mentioned the word playoff or anything like that. But we were off to a great start, 3-1 in 09, and we tanked it.
I think it was the Redskins Nation jinx. Every fan thought we were going to the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I felt it coming, you know, we do it every year, so.
Yeah, and I thought that, and I remember saying when we were at Redskin Park, I remember saying, I hope the wheels stay on, and specifically talking about Rex Grossman. Hope Rex Grossman stays focused. He stays focused, because we don't need any, the wheels falling off the wagon. We need to stay focused. Hope defense keeps playing like they are, keep getting healthy, Ron Landry gets healthy, no major injuries, anything like that, and we keep the momentum. Now, if this ends up going to a place where we don't make the playoffs or whatever, okay, fine. But just keep the momentum, keep it going, and just hopefully just play well. And it didn't quite stay on.
I think taking him out of the starting position might have played a head game on him and affected his play, but I think he's improved as a quarterback. He's shown strides, he's gotten better, less pressured, not all the time, but he's gotten better. And it's just a shame that it happened so late in the season because there's nowhere to go after that right now this year. Yeah,
and we were all clamoring for the John Beck starting quarterback. I mean, in preseason, we were all gung-ho to see this guy. I mean, the coach, I can't believe I got hyped into it. I remember the coach was like, yeah, he's our guy, and everybody's like, he's going to be bad, he's going to be terrible. And then during preseason, we all were like, okay, I like where this is going. And then he ended up getting in the game, and it just didn't work out.
I just think it was a problem not choosing a starting quarterback from the beginning. Because with Shanahan changing the quarterbacks around, they don't know who's starting, and quarterback is a very mental position. So if they're not ready to be the starter and step in there, or they think they're ready to be the starter and then get pulled and get put back in, their head's not in the right place to lead the team. And obviously that's where the Redskins lack right now. So
yeah, and that inconsistency, specifically at the quarterback play, and you're right, inconsistency started with the coach not choosing one guy, even though the players liked Rex Grossman because they figured they felt that he gave them the best chance to win. But they had to see what they had in John Beck. But as we saw with Beck, he had the athleticism. He came in at the end of the Philly game, played very well. But starting, it's a completely different ball game than coming off the bench and rallying the squad when the other team's in the prevent defense.
And I think the competition aspect of it was brilliant because he wanted both quarterbacks to progress. He didn't want either one to think that they had the starting job. But I also think that the team really needed a leader, and that's one of the ways that the team fell apart is because they didn't have that leader and a quarterback. And then once you take Grossman out and put him back in, of course he's not going to have confidence in himself. He just pulled him for Beck. What has Beck done?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and speaking of leaders, how much blame does the coaching have to do with this? We praised the coaching a little bit because they got off to such a great start. And we said, hey, they got off to 3-1. Skins hadn't been 3-1 in a long time. And the offense looked like it was going to click. Grossman took steps, but it was still clicking. The defense, of course, was playing very, very well. But there were some missteps. I think, and looking back, I see pulling Grossman that early was a mistake. And I meant that early in the season. Seemed to be a mistake. He was going to have bad games, and you knew that, but it just seemed like the team just completely tanked at that point.
But at the same time, to me too, at that time, it looked like Grossman did need to be pulled. And everybody thought that, and that's why he was pulled. But I think that just reflects a lack of confidence in the coaching staff, in the management, that they don't know. They don't know, and they need to have a clear vision. They need to either have a clear belief or not. But they can't go back and forth because you get a season like this.
Yeah, and the players obviously have a huge hand in this. Do you feel like the players themselves, is it the fact that they're not really talented, or are they just young? It's one of the two, because they're just not clicking. I mean, the individuals play well in spots. We've seen Halou play well in spots. We've seen, it was Gomes came in for Landry. He's played well. Kerrigan's played well the whole year. So, but the defense in general has done really well with their young players. But the offense, I mean, I don't know. Receivers, Miles Paul, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I don't think it's a lack of talent, because to play at the NFL level of football, you have to be talented, you have to be driven, and you have to want to win. So I think everyone on the Redskins team wants to win, and they want to play football. But I don't think football is very fun when you're not winning, week after week after week. So I think that maybe it was a mismanagement of the young talent rather than a lack of talent. And the Redskins organization needs to figure out a way to motivate and build, like we talked about last time, like the chemistry, to create a team that will want to win games and will work on the field and won't just watch, someone run by them.
No, that's a very good point, because we haven't had players that wanted to build something here before. We've always had a free agent, they come and get paid.
It's the first year.
Yeah, you're right. So technically, this kind of is Shanahan's first kind of rebuilding year. I guess last year was kind of just the washing out of the players, but this year it's really the building of the young talent. Now, the question is, will the owner allow this to be year one, or is he going to count last year and now we're going into year 3 next year? Is that now going to be a problem?
I mean, with Dan Snyder, you never really know where he's going to go with it, but I just think it's too hard to tell right now, what direction it's going to go after this year, because I think that the Washington, D.C. area and the fans are so ready for their football team to be good again that the criticism is so harsh and so immediate that the decisions that are made not based on football knowledge, not based on the actual team and what's going on, but based on what's happening in the papers and what people are saying, So yeah. I think it's up in the air. I don't think you can really know.
I think a lot of Shanahan's fate going into year 3 and possibly year 4 is going to be on the quarterback. Whatever we do this offseason with the quarterback, that's where a lot of this fate is going to lie. I mean, is it going to be a veteran quarterback? Do they trade for one? Or are they going to get a young quarterback, and then all of a sudden you got to start over, because now you got to give them another 2 or 3 years to develop with a young quarterback? I mean, and for the perfect example, Mark Sanchez. We've seen this year, in particular, guys like Cam Newton, Dalton, guys like that, playing right off the bat and playing well. Somebody like Sanchez, who's in his 3rd year, technically, even though he's not playing that well for the Jets, that's kind of when we start saying, hey, you got to give him 3 years. A lot of these other teams are being spoiled now with rookie quarterbacks, but 3 years, 4 years, that's where you got to see what you have. So if Shanahan gets a new quarterback, do they now start the clock over 1, 2, 3 years to see if it's going to be a Matt Barkley or Robert Griffin III, or maybe they trade up for luck? I don't know. I don't know. Or do you think they should keep back? What do you think?
Honestly, I'm speechless at that question, because I don't know where the Redskins should go from here. I think it's totally a 50-50 question, totally up in the air, because I think that with the right staff around the players, they can take what they have right now and build it into something good. And we've seen that against good teams like the Patriots and other established NFL teams. But I think that if that system isn't built around the players to support them and build the team, obviously whoever comes in, whether it's Andrew Luck or whether it's Beck, it's not going to work.
What about Peyton Manning?
I don't think they should go there. I really don't. I am a huge fan of Peyton Manning, but number one, he's coming off a neck injury. Our O-line is not known for its good protection, so he'll probably last 2 games. After he gets sacked 5 to 6 times in 2 games, he'll be out with another neck injury. And I don't think that the Redskins system will fit Peyton Manning. So I think that it's just not going to work. Just like Albert Hainsworth just didn't work. Wow. I think Manning is so talented, but I just don't think the Redskins would know what to do with that talent, really.
Are you going on the record, Karen, saying if Peyton Manning comes to the Redskins, he will not be successful? Are you going on the record?
Yes, I predict a disaster if Peyton Manning comes to the Redskins. I predict the first game to be great, second game to be good or great, and then disaster.
Wow.
On the record, 100% on the record.
Wow, strong words, Karen, but you're bringing it.
I'm bringing it.
You're bringing
I'm telling you how I feel today.
Yeah, and now we got it on tape. So, tough, Karen.
We'll talk next season, right?
Right, we'll talk next season. Now, other teams in the NFL, which team currently do you not mind watching when the Redskins are on? How about that one? Who's an exciting team?
I hate to sound like a bandwagon fan, but who doesn't like Tim Tebow right now? He is so invested in his team. He's so exciting to watch. And I have been made a huge Tim Tebow fan in the last 7 weeks alone.
Okay. I like that.
The Broncos.
I like watching Tim Tebow. What do you make of that? How do you explain his fourth quarters?
I think it's just refreshing. He is obviously very talented, but his belief in the team and the chemistry and building everything together, like he is going into these game situations counting on everyone on his team to make the play, not just thinking he's going to win it. And he gives everyone credit. So I just think it's really neat to see him come in as a rookie and show how much belief in a win can do. Because all he wants to do is win.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
Yeah, and sometimes the intangibles, I mean, are stronger than sometimes your skill set. I mean, we've never really seen that. We've seen people with high skill sets, high intangibles. But even in people with high intangibles, we've never really seen the ability to say, the NFL is such a high skill level. You say, oh, well, nobody's intangibles have been able to, be that much better than somebody's skill set or the 11 guys on defense skill set. But just his ability to make his teammates believe in him says so much, because truthfully, football is all about, 11 guys going downfield saying they're going to score. And the will of that is obviously stronger than people have ever calculated. I mean, and I'll give you an example. Even with the Redskins, Joe Gibbs, okay? People said Joe Gibbs, when he came back, was not as good an X and O's coach. And yeah, it was a bit, archaic with the running game and that sort of thing. However, 2 out of 4 years, they still make the playoffs. And I will say that the intangible that Joe Gibbs was able to keep guys together and make 5 games in a row run to the playoffs. Then the next year, with Sean Taylor dying, 4 games in a row, and then into the playoffs. And although people say, oh, Joe Gibbs didn't do so well, he made the playoffs 2 out of 4 years and made it to the second round. And wasn't too far away from making it to the championship game that one season. So, and that was just by almost, I would argue, by his ability of just keeping guys together. So that intangible weighs a lot when you talk about football.
And I think you hit the nail on the head with the basic concept of football is having 11 guys and taking them down the field. I believe that is what Tim Tebow thinks of when he gets on the field. He just wants to take all 11 guys all the way down the field. That's it. Who cares about his personal stats or whatever? He just wants to win, and I love watching that. I think it's very exciting football.
Yeah. And now, before you go, Super Bowl predictions.
Super Bowl predictions.
Who do you think is going to be in the big game?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll tell you this. For me, the one I'm on the record for is Packers, Patriots. That's what I'm on the record for. That's what I picked with Jason. That's what we're on the record. And we both had the same thing. So we had to pick alternates. So I believe my alternate was the Saints and the Steelers.
Okay.
Because I like Drew Brees. I believe you have to have a good quarterback. Although Rex Grossman did get there with the Bears. But besides that 1 year, you have to have a good quarterback to get there. Do you think that the Packers can repeat?
I think they can. Okay. I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the most composed and talented quarterbacks in the league. So I think the Packers are a very good pick.
In the AFC, think the Patriots are going to get there? Well, the Redskins, they scored like 30-something points on the Patriots. So I don't know. I feel I'm not too confident with my on-the-record Super Bowl pick.
My gut pick would be the Patriots, but just like you said, with the defense, you don't know. With a defense that allows that many points, you don't. They leave the door open for someone else to come in and take it.
I think, and I'm also on the record, like I said, I'm also on the record for the Steelers. But if there is somebody that can slip in there, I think it could be the Ravens. Although Jason picked the Ravens, so I really feel a little bad about that too. dang, yeah, I don't know. He was kind of good about Detroit. Now he might get the Ravens right. So, I can't cave to Herbeck. I'm staying legit. I'm staying with my picks. I'm not caving for them. Well, that's it's time for a break. Got to pay some commercial breaks. Oh, sorry, I'm not used to this window here. It was like a dog just came running just right out the thing. It scared me. I was like, what is that? Anyway, at least my car's not getting towed. But Stephanie's car is. It's time for a break. We'll go down and check on our cars, and we'll be back. So keep it locked right here. You're watching In the Zone from the Rooftop Bar and Grill.